Well, hello, my friend, and thank you for joining me as we continue our journey at the burning bush in this mini-series within our devotional series as we discover some of the amazing things that God said and did with Moses. So let me take you to Exodus chapter 4, verse 17, a marvelous passage that tells us this. God said to Moses, "You shall take in your hand this staff with which you shall perform the signs." Oh, my friend, God is our sign provider. He chooses to do that from time to time, certainly in a remarkable way in the story of the Exodus. However, God also answers in smaller ways, like when Gideon asked for there to be moisture on a fleece that he put out as a confirmation that he was hearing God accurately. And then the next day he asked him to reverse it, let it be dry while the ground itself is dewy. And God honored that. You know what I love about the Lord? He knows when we need a little faith booster by Him granting us a sign that we ask for. You know, years ago, when I felt the call to ministry, I was actually at the University of Texas at Austin, political science major, pre-law. I was on my way to law school and a political career. But in my junior year, I remember one distinct day when I had just gotten out one of those law courses, went up to the 6th floor of one of our libraries there on campus, looking at a panoramic view of the city and said, "Lord, you know, I'm willing to do this, but I don't know if my heart's in it." And that's when I began to sense the stirrings of God saying, "No, I've given you a heart for full-time ministry." And I said, "Really? Seriously?" And I took the rest of the day off to explore it, to confirm it. I went to our church, which was not too far from the university campus, up to the 2nd floor of an educational building where we had our college department, and I was one of our leaders there, and in the dark just praying and saying, "Lord, look, you don't have to do this, but it would really be a confirmation to me that you are calling me to vocational ministry if, when I go down to talk to my pastor, number one, he's going to be there, no small ask for a mega pastor's church. Number two, that he's able and willing to see me on the spot, another big ask." And as soon as I finished that prayer, you know what happened? The door opened, somebody flicked on the lights, and it was, you guessed it, my pastor at that moment. And he looked at me in a startled way, said, "Well, Mark, what are you doing up here in the dark?" I said, "Well, sir, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Are you going to be in your office in about 5 minutes?" He said, "Oh, yeah, come on down. I'm just showing some folks around the building a little bit, but I'd love to talk to you." Well, that's what God did to confirm that He was calling me. And when I did talk with him downstairs a few minutes later, I told him that story. He chuckled at the grace of the Lord to give me that extra sign of His immediate availability as my pastor. But he also said, "But I've seen God's hand on you for a long time, and I believe this is a wonderful thing." Well, my friend, the Lord will answer you with those signs from time to time, but He doesn't want us to live by them. Those are just faith boosters every now and then, because what He really wants you to do is to spend so much time with Him, listening for His voice, that it's unmistakable from any other voice that's out there, supernaturally, or in the world, or even from your own confused heart from time to time. And so, until next time, be listening for those whispers of God, and He will give you those granted signs from time to time, but they're nothing like those deeper whispers.